Sweet Owen, greetings. Where's my charger? How's it going? Oh, there it is. Tick tick. Greetings. Oh yeah, full body. My mistake. But pretty good. How am I? It's been a relaxing day, which is nice. Screenshot it. Oh no. What will you do with that? Yeah, I'm pretty good today. Probably fan art. Sounds good. I'm into that. But yeah, we'll start the activity in like 13 more minutes. Just relaxing for now. Of every sort. Oh. Huh. So there's good stuff in there, right? Greetings. We love to see it. But how are you, Tic Tac? This music is kind of meh. Better. You started breathing again. How long did you stop? What was your record? 9 T. Greetings. Stop breathing at work for a bit. I was breathing by my throat. Oh, I was breathing out my clothes. Wow. Why do you survive? That's rough. Sorry you went through that. So what kind of fanfic is this? I have no clue. I've never looked into a fanfic before. It's greetings. Market the stocks. I was hoping Market Crash would survive a long time. How to Get Eaten by Rufus. No way. Tick Tick is invincible. The invincible positive thinker. The fish got eaten. What a sad day. How'd that happen? Like, where was the fish tank? Wasn't the fish tank expensive? You like broke a brand new one. Rufus is a criminal. Lock him up. It didn't know. It's Kitsuo's fault. Knocking over tanks. What do you mean, yours? Market crashes death is on your hands. Going too soon. Play moment of cool difficulties. Oh, that is a huge difficulty. I get it. But, you know, what's better for grieving than getting another fish? That's kind of messed up. Imagine if the store banned you from getting fish. A beta in a week. Hopefully this fish prospers for years. Yeah, betas are like aggressive to each other. What fish can coexist? I feel like that might be too much effort. Kids who won't go for it. Trial and error. The best way to learn. Don't fight the fish. You can't risk losing. I'd win. The last guy who said that lost. If you say so. No way. I'm nice. But yeah, we're going to be reading fanfictions today. I have no clue what I'll pull up. It was hard even making a thumbnail for this. I don't feel right calling it a thumbnail. Image? Cover? But yeah, I didn't know which characters. So I just typed in a character list and pulled some. I have a bunch that I would love. It's traumatizing. I don't think I'd love it then. You're a bit mistaken. I regret existing today. Anyways, kids who have disappeared. That's rough. Going too soon, just like market crash. Tails, greetings. Interesting. They kind of just dematerialize. They do that sometimes. It's like a party trick. But let's see. Archive of your own. An archive of your own. Oh, is that what it stands for? Users can make profiles, create works, other content, post comments, give kudos, create collections and bookmarks, participate in challenges, import works, and more. Any information you publish and comment in a comment, profile, or work, or content that you post or import onto AO3, including in summary, notes, and tags, will be accessible by the public unless you limit access to your work, and it will be available on AO3, available to AO3 personnel. Be mindful when sharing personal information, including your religion, political views. Okay, cool. Should I even look at the terms of service? I don't think it's that crazy. I'm only here to observe anyway. What tags are you going to go through? Find your favorites. Anime and manga. We'll stick to that. Anime, manga, cartoons, comics, and graphic novels. Oh, they have a list. Huge list. Wow, that took me a bit to go down. What kind of didn't I just say I don't usually read them? This is my first time on the site. Is there a popular section? That would help. This is crazy. What's this event search like? Rating. Let's go with general audience. Yeah. Start by typing suggestions for fandoms. Wish I even begin. Is there a random button? Greetings. Maybe I should go to Genshin. Do Luke or Kaya and Raiden? Yay, me. Really? Do you know who I am? No. Maybe JJK. Genshin. Just go ahead and look up Ganyu. I searched Genshin and I got 1,000. I mean, ooh, 185,639 results. Ganyu and Fluff. Sure. 2,000 found. Ganyu and Zhao. Ah, don't get jealous. Not at all. The stories of Junior and Karst. Maybe we could be. There's so many, like, characters mentioned in this. There's no way they're reaching. Oh, it has 4,000 words. That's amazing. Don't they tell you the word count? It's huge. I have comments too. What are comments on this website like? Something. Next chapter. Maybe the comments are towards the end. How many chapters does this have? It's not a lot of words on a page. Could be like. Okay, there's 6 chapters. They update like that. I have no clue. For some reason, I thought these were more one-offs. But I guess they could continue. Maybe I should just start opening random ones. Could be weekly and daily, or every couple of months, or no ending. These tags are so thorough. Ooh, Zukai. Greetings. Wow, it really carried you. My wife, Ganyu. You thirst for other possibilities. Truly. Is there a way to filter these to the most popular ones? That's a good place to start. Your greetings. Choose tags. General audience and teen and up. Should be teen and up, right? Likes or votes. Right. Sure. Sure. How's it going? You're so likes or hits, right? Rip. Greetings. Oh, no way. The bird got an update. I feel like that was brighter than usual. Thank you. Let's see. Burger. Oh, was it so fast? It was faster than usual. I wasn't in the mood for a burger. Spider-Man and Oregon? I'm not really sure. I haven't heard of that character. Eventual happy ending. Eventual romance. Boom. Sure. All these tags are pretty overwhelming to look at. I guess it's just find the people who are looking for them. Even if they don't search, don't have like specified searches, you'll find it just because of the tags. It'll just be there. Give it more of a possibility. Fangirl. I feel like it was easier when I didn't filter through likes. Words 100,000. Yeah, I'll read that this stream. Oh, I'm starting to see a pattern. These ones with a lot of likes or have a ton of words with them. I haven't seen one under. Okay, here we go. 36,000. Rena, greetings. I just don't want to pick one. And it would be like weird or bad. But maybe I have to. But how are you, Rena? A rainy day with you. Concrete. Really? This is the pairing. Wow. Sounds like quite the moment. Wow. Cooching is really the pairing. Greetings. Fishing with Ganyu. Maybe I'll start here. It has like a circle where their genders and stuff will usually be. So it must be like neutral. That's what I assume. Okay. If you start reading already stuff, I'm out. That's funny that you think that was even a possibility. But yeah. The large roasted boar swam lazily through the parsley and butter sauce. Next to it floated a towering plum pudding. Yes. Paimon yelled, "Come here." "Wake up, Paimon," the plum pudding said. Huh? The roll shook and suddenly Paimon was in some force. Lumi's face, right in front of her. "Wake up, Paimon," Lumi repeated. "I'm awake," Paimon said, stifling a yawn. What's up? We're going to Leeway, Lumi said. That was all the explanation Paimon got. So they went to the nearest portal stone and whooshed to Leeway Harbor, where Lumi visited some people to exchange some more for non-edible stuff. I feel like that's a Paimon thought, just non-edible stuff. I can be wild sometimes, surely. After they went to Mount Tianhing, and climbed it, by the time they were at the top, Paimon was finally fully awake. What are we doing here, Lumi? Paimon looked around, but there was no one in sight. Ah, Qingxing. Is that how I'm supposed to say that? I feel like I haven't heard anybody. It's a flower that Ganyu eats, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I hope it's not that guy. I think I got it right. We're gathering Qingxing. Paimon gave the area another look. Oh, there, over there. Paimon saw one. Well done, Paimon. Lumin gave her a approving smile as she went over to the Qingxing. Where would you be without your trusty Paimon, huh? Paimon grinned smugly. Do you need any more? What do you need him for? Ganyu's birthday is today. Lumin unfolded her glider, grabbed Paimon, and jumped from the mountain. Oh, nice. Where are we going? What did you get her? Will there be good food? Paimon licked her lips. So many questions. All in due time, Lumin answered, and no matter how much Paimon chattered away, that was all that came from her lips. As time became due, it became clear that they were gliding to the northern part of the Guili Plains. Lumin landed, and after a few minutes of walking, they came to the shore where they saw Ganyu sitting on a campfire. Ganyu, hey Ganyu, Paimon chirped and waved. Look, it's us. Ganyu stood up, smiled, and walked towards the couple. Lumin, I'm so glad you came. She pulled her friend into a tight hug. Paimon, it's good to see you as well. She reached out, pulled Paimon towards her, and gave a peck on her forehead. Cool. Happy birthday, Ganyu, Lumin said, returning a hug. You're reading. I'm starting to get. Who knows? Yeah, come up on said that taking Lumin behind Paimon by their hands and leading them to the campfire. Before I forget, Lumin said that apart yes, she had a gown with a cheesy flower. A flower befitting her who blooms at the greatest heights, Lumin said and winked. Uh, Jieshu, Ganyu exclaimed. Delicious. She deeply smelled the flower, then put it in her mouth. Ha ha, she sighed. Ha, she sighed contentedly. Paimon was shocked. This, Lumin continued undisturbed, handing Ganyu a second gift. It's a bookmark woven from the finest Liyue silk. Ganyu gracefully accepted the bookmark and hugged Queen again. As for me, Ga- wait. As for me, Ganyu said, I've made you my favorite dish, prosperous peace. I've lit a campfire and bought some fish bait. Oh, that looks delicious, Paimon exclaimed, eyeballing the rice dish. Bait for fish and Paimon. Who means smirked. Ganyu laughed and Paimon stopped and stomped the air. Typical. Lively as always, I see. You two haven't changed at all. We have, Lumi said, and for a moment, her face darkened. Then she shook her head and became her usual stoic self again. You mentioned fishing? Yes, Ganyu led them to shore and into a place where they could see large fish swimming in the water. My colleagues recommended this as a relaxing fishing spot. I bought something called fish bait, but I'm unsure how to use it. Perhaps you could. Sure. Lumi took the small, soft, dough-like balls that Ganyu handed her. She smelt them. Ew. Hmm? How would you go smell that so readily? Ganyu chuckled. They're for fish. Lumi shrugged. My best guess is that they're projectiles, but they're a bit too soft for that. She took aim at the closest fish and threw out one of her balls at it. The water slowed it down so much that it barely hit the fish, which quickly swam away, startled but unharmed. No luck, Ganyu sighed. Perhaps we require some kind of contraption to launch it with a greater speed. Huh? Do you just not know what a fishing pole is? What do you think fishing is? Anyway, good idea, Lumi said. She frowned. What kind of an apparatus could launch this bait with sufficient speed to kill a fish? And would it not damage the fish too much? Rog, Paimon roared. Richard pretending to be so detached from reality. Everyone knows this stuff. You put the bait on a hook, the hook on a rope, the rope on a stick, and a stick in your hands, and your butt on the ground next to the water, and you wait for the fish until it's dumb enough to bite. That sounds Ganyu, Ganyu and Lumi said in unison. Rather convoluted, Ganyu continued. Rather boring, Lumi finished. How do you normally fish? Ganyu asked. Simple, Lumi said. I tickle the fish, and when it's distracted, I lift it out of the water and kill it with a burst of elemental energy. Ganyu nodded approvingly. That sounds. Did they say tick? They said tickle. That sounds so much more convenient. Right. Paimon put her hands on her hips and smiled smugly. Isn't Lumine the greatest? Do you want to give it a try? Lumine asked Ganyu. Tickling? Oh no. Where is this going? I'm not used to that. Alright, I'll change some things. Tickling, I'm not used to that. Ganyu's face reddened. Lumi frowned. You're not used to it? Ganyu's face turned a deeper red. Catgirl was always the one who, word for word. It's strange. I don't know what they're implying, but Ganyu blushed more deeply. Kuching is always the one who well, anyways, I'll try freezing some water instead. How about that? Without waiting for a response, she threw an ice lotus leaf into the water, freezing a few cubic yards. Ganyu reached out and pulled a block of ice the size of a. Ganyu reached out and pulled a frozen block out of the ice the size of a horse cart out of the water. It easily weighed a few tons, but she handled it like it would be like it was a cup of coffee. There we go, she said. Amazing, Ganyu. Lumi clapped her hands. Even Paimon was impressed. Ganyu smiled goatishly. Really, it's nothing. Paimon thinks we caught enough fish. Commented, let's go eat. As you wish, Ganyu said. I did not dislike this, but I do wonder, what about, what about it do my colleagues find so relaxing? Lumi shrugged. She had no idea either. They returned to the campfire while enjoying the prosperous peace Ganyu prepared and watched the ice thaw. The fish that had been the fish that had been frozen so quickly that they hadn't had the chance to die, and three friends threw them back into the water, one after the other. For a while, no one spoke. Paimon floated lazily, humming contentedly, while Lumin and Ganyu stared at the distant mountains. How's your journey going? Ganyu asked after a while, progressing in small steps. Lumi said nothing more, and Ganyu didn't ask. Sometimes all he needs is a shoulder to lean on. Ganyu apparently did, for she dozed off further and further, leaning on Lumi. Same here, busy as always. Ningguang and Kuching are a pleasure to work for. Every day, her voice fell silent. Her head fell against Lumi's shoulder. Okay, Lumi carefully placed Ganyu's head in her lap and draped a towel over the sleeping woman. She falls asleep so easily, huh? Lumi smiled softly. Then she looked at Ganyu's sleeping face. That's only because you're her good friend and she trusts you, Paimon explained. Is it? Oh, Lumi looked up. Is that why you only fall asleep when it's just the two of us? No, Paimon pouted. Well, but, okay. Where's Kuching? Huh? Lumi looked around. This was non sequitur. Shouldn't she be celebrating here with us? It's Ganyu's birthday, Paimon chirped. Lumi looked thoughtfully. Perhaps she's already celebrated with Ganyu. Perhaps she'll do it later today. Or perhaps she's too busy working to think about her secretary's birthday. Wouldn't surprise Paimon if that was the case. Lumi didn't want to affirm that, but couldn't in all honesty disagree. Or perhaps she was simply busy with some work and had to finish it, and she'll come later. A familiar voice behind him sounded. Kuching, Paimon screeched so loud that Ganyu woke up. Is dinner ready? Ganyu asked sleepily. Oh, did I drift off again? I'm sorry. She turned around. Kuching? Kuching raised her eyebrow. I did inform you that I'd be here later, didn't I? She greeted Lumin and Paimon with a curt nod. I'd brought some food. Universal peace is my favorite dish. Or is your favorite dish? Is it not, Ganyu? I'm not much of a cook myself, so I had the one min restaurant prepare some. Kuchi noticed the empty plates. Or did you already eat? One min? Ganyu asked, wide awake. No, yes, but only a little. Please take a seat. She patted the ground next to her. Kuching sat down, and soon the party was enjoying another meal. Afterwards, not much was said before Mo and Gandhi fell asleep again. Her head on Kuchi's lap this time. No sound disturbed them, but Kuchi's finger ran through Gandhi's hair. The waves whispered on the beach, and the insects humming on the plains. Lumi watched as the sun and clouds and Paimon floated lazily through the sky. Perhaps fishing wasn't so bad once in a while. That's it. Notes, why would Gandhi's colleagues convince her to go fishing when she's a strict vegetarian? Is she being bullied? Kuchin should confront her. That's a good point. I guess maybe they said it without thinking too deeply. That wasn't so bad. 1,500 words. Two. Oh, hits her views, kudos or likes. Understand. I get it. That wasn't so bad. Some parts were a bit strange. To really like tickling the fish. What was that part about? It's kind of just like put in there randomly to make the mood a bit weird. Yeah, it all makes sense. The author was just injecting their likes into it, being fishing. Inside the castle, I'm just reading. You know what? I should probably go. Who's in the thumbnail? Right in. Running Shogun. I'll put fluff at the end. Or maybe I'll keep it like this. Sort by kudos. As if people like it, it must be good. I made a mistake. They're too good. Too many words. Let's see if I can get it down to like 1,000. It's like 60 chapters. Wow. Break. see. This isn't the character I want. What? How do I filter this? Oh, it was right. Let's search by I'm looking more for word count than titles. I almost read it. These titles are a bit too much. How does a story called The Ends Justify the Beans have 33,000 words? The Beans. This is ridiculous. How can I find? Okay, let me see what happens when I try to filter some things, like the rating. Couldn't filter out the fire. I don't need the fire for this. I need good but mid. Mid but good. It can be peak, true. So it's pretty easy to write something for this. Hmm. I'm not your mother, he shrieks. But that's 78,000 words. Make your own fanfic and post. You look really pretty today, Shogun. Cool. Oh, this is in Spanish. Oh, Portuguese. This is my peace manifesting ball for me. When was this? 2021. Where did the party go? Sure. The Dawn Winery was packed with familiar faces and strange ones alike, and Venti could not be happier. He floated up to the second floor, avoiding most of the attention in the meantime, so that he could sneak a few drinks off to his side without having to entertain his guests. Surely D-Luke wouldn't mind some of his prized standing line and wine going missing so quickly. As he peered out of a window, though, he grinned, seeing the familiar blue sky. Wait, he grinned, seeing the familiar blue sedan approaching. Oops. Stealing out of the window before touching down in a casual drift towards the front door, the door opened and Jean-Louis had emerged, dressed in a comfortable gold-trimmed three-piece suit. Compared to Venti's gaudy light green suit, he seemed far more put together than his longtime friend would. And as he waved goodbye to a light-haired woman who drove him there, Venti waved an enthusiastic hello to the sour-looking man next to Jean-Louis. I hear Portuguese sounds like Spanish. I can't understand it. It's like some type of thin barrier between the two. Venti waved. Venti waved an enthusiastic hello to the sour-looking man next to Jean-Louis, swinging his arm over his old friend's shoulder before leaning over and starting to push him inside. Archons, Archons, I was so bored. Venti had already begun to complain. I thought you met with an accident or something along the way. Was the Stone Gate Highway giving you trouble again? Can't we do something about those Those damned congestions. Seriously, I can't believe they're holding up my friends like this. Charlie doesn't even like Venti. They go way back, basically friends. Xiao managed to soft laugh at the other man's humor, all while Venti bobbed towards the table and shoved the patron aside to make himself comfortable at the front of the table. You know, I'm actually expecting someone else to show up soon. You know, the one who's been ignoring all my emails and texts about my parties. Do you have emails and texts in Genshin? In Charlie's voice lines, he doesn't like him. Thought it'd be more neutral. What is this, modern time? Have a sedan. Maybe not like not like a chariot. That's hilarious, but understandable. You know that ball never answers any of her texts. She's had our chat muted for ages. Jean-Louis made himself comfortable by pushing a chair aside to park himself in position. I was frankly rather surprised that she said she'd come for this. It didn't seem like her type of occasion, in truth. Quite curious to figure out why she had a change of heart. Venti picked up an apple, tossing it in his hand as he rubbed it on himself. Probably because we need to sit together or something. What with those Fatui expanding into Inazuma, I think she's probably antsy to figure out what's their little battle plan. Business is a battlefield after all, and she's winning, he scoffed, taking a large bite from it. How about you, though? I'm sure retirement's treating you fantastically, especially after you started dating the lady of the Jade Chamber. Okay. Shonli gave a nod in response. There was small graces features. Those small graces features. Ningguan is doing wonderfully, as is Guizhong. I don't know if I said that correctly. Oh, have I not mentioned Guizhong woke up from her coma and she's feeling much better now. Is that Zhongli's friend from like past times? Didn't she die? She woke up from her coma. This is Cope. What does AU stand for? Authors on Alternative Universe. Ah, that makes sense. Okay, Guizhong woke up from her coma. She's feeling much better now. He commenting, accepting a plate of food Zhao had helpfully offered him. She said she'd have loved to visit, but I feel that it might not have been the best idea. Flopping into his seat, Venti leaned forward with his hands under his chin. Congrats for... Damn, congrats to her for living all that, he quipped, sticking out his tongue. And you know how things have been with me and him. This is all sorts of messed up. It says modern AU for our three gods. The story deleted itself. I did not continue. Liked it. Maybe in some strange boring terms. I did that. Let's try to find one more about this story. My girlfriend says I can't cook. Crazy. Blood flower shrouded in electricity. Sounds cool. Maybe this will be. I don't see anything too crazy. What a good title. Notes English is not my first language, so there might be a few errors. That's cool. Her life is an eternity. Yours, only a moment. When the last grain of sand sinks to the bottom of the hourglass of your destiny, devotion to your icon will not save you. But even with the thought of not being able to share eternity in the world with your goddess, you strive forward into the very depths of battle to see the satisfied smile on the beautiful face that inspires fear in the people and love in your heart. She is the ideal, the very lightning in the thick gray cloud that makes up this miserable world. You are the humble warrior, the raven, striving in the rain to reach the flickering flashes. When the electric shock strikes you, you lose not your life, but your head, sinking into the abyss of sin, swollen your hands in blood, and tormenting your ears with the cries of the innocent. But such is the price for the touch of cold, gentle fingers on your cheek, for the soft look of amethyst-colored eyes, and the raised corners of your mouth, and a satisfied smirk with slightly averted, soft pink lips. It was alright. Nothing too crazy. Uh, I will find one. What's funny? You're marking something later? No. Hey, ball, eat a dog? I can bark. That's hilarious. Why am I here? What gave me this idea? Let's switch to let's switch to something. I thought it would be like funny, like how people get curse fan fictions. But I wasn't sure how deep they would get. There's barely an in between. What am I looking at? Recent works. That's not good. Don't question anything. Right. You're supposed to turn off your brain and read it for what it is. You're probably right. These are people with wants and fantasies. You're so right. It all makes sense. Hmm. Oh, there's X reader stuff. That should be better, right? Somehow. Pretty neutral. Chapter 102. After Ball struggles to peel potatoes, you teach Ball how to cook. You usually don't wake up in the middle of the night, and Izuma always becomes peacefully quiet when the sun completely sets, blanketing the outsides with silence that absolutely anybody could sleep through. At first, you stood up, turning the pillow, said I was on the cooler side. You would have gone back to your rest if it wasn't for something that threw you completely off guard. Paul, your voice blurted out. Ball wasn't with you in your bed. Many people were surprised to hear that Ball, or Raiden Shogun, as they called her, had a significant other who she loved, especially when they learned that the other was just a completely normal person. You didn't even think she'd notice you. You felt so painlessly average compared to her grandiosity, but she had. While she looked imposing on the outside, she was completely soft on the inside, had a caring side that anyone would wish for. Ah, yes, the self-insert. It was a strange. It was strange to you, though. Ball wasn't the one for leaving in the middle of the night unless something was so drastically important and confidential. The last time a moment happened like this, she had folded. She had folded a letter explaining her absence for you. To see that there was nothing by your side made you suddenly aware of your surroundings. You quickly found yourself getting onto your own 2 feet, trying to get your footing as you walked out of the bedroom you shared. The more you walked around, the more you truly felt like you were alone. It was so awfully quiet, with the only sounds being your own footsteps walking in the night. It was pitch black wherever you looked, at least from where you stood. You found yourself taking a deep breath. Should you be worried? Ball was such a strong leader, a strong Archon wife too. Even if she was away, you were sure that she was safe. As your mind conflicted over whether to go back to sleep or not, something that she simply forgotten to write in a letter, you heard a sharp thud onto the floor. If you weren't living inside a safe place as safe as you were, you would have jumped out of fear at the endless possibilities. Living outside of Ball's home gave you Living inside of Ball's home gave you so much safety that you didn't even shudder at the noise. Instead, your mind raced to the obvious question, is that Ball? You began slowly creeping towards the noise on the opposite side of the floor you were on, careful not to make a sound. As you got closer to the sound, you began to see a dim light coming from a room in the far corner. You're about to figure out which room exactly until you heard an audible sigh, one that definitely resembled the one of your wife. You made a sigh of your own in relief as she was potentially okay. However, the relief soon turned into confusion as another question began to loom over your mind. What was Ball doing in the middle of the night? And that's what you realized. What the problem was. As you made your way towards the kitchen door, you mentally prepared yourself before peeking over to see your Archon. Ball was sniffling and rubbing her eyes occasionally as she stood beside the kitchen counter. Your wife really got emotional over nonsensical things. She really cried at all. You had told Ball so many times now how not everybody can do everything, but she just wouldn't accept that. Truthfully, you had expected a scenario like this. She always tried her hardest to prove to everybody why she earned and deserved her title as riding Shogun. She wanted to be able to do absolutely everything possible, from most substantial actions such as protecting her region to smallest hobbies such as cleaning and sewing. You all were so thankful for everything that she would do, just for your sake. She was so talented and beautiful, and she always was there to help you whenever you needed. However, there was just one thing she couldn't do, and while you had no problem with it, it was something that always filled Ball with a burning shame. Ball, you finally made your presence known, walking into the kitchen. Hearing sniffles made Hearing the sniffles made your heart wrench in sadness. The steps she made echoed around the room, and if Ball didn't hear her name, she definitely heard you walk in to her from behind. She quickly she tried to quickly wipe away your tears, but to no avail, as you wrapped your arms around her side, trapping your arms in the process. Your wife didn't say a word, allowing the hug to happen as you leaned your face onto the back of her body, taking in her warmth. Paul, did you try cooking again? You asked, squeezing her softly, as Ball kept looking down, silent. Come on, let's go back to bed. I, her voice crackled. Her voice cracked immediately. Ball stopped herself from talking, and you began to feel her tremble slightly. You didn't say a word to interject, though, only nuzzling your face deeper into her bare skin as you heard her shaky breaths. You knew how your wife didn't like to be told she was getting emotional. It came with her pride of being Shogun and never wanted to look weak in front of anybody. The only exception that Ball had to that rule was you, the one she treasured and loved ever so dearly. So thought so even with that, Ball wasn't used to having her heart open to another person. You were the first and only person she had fallen head over heels for, and she had never felt love for anyone else in her thousands of years of life. And she was getting used to unveiling her mask in front of you, and so you gave her all the time she needed to get used to it. All cleared her throat before taking in a deep breath. She seemed to she seemed to feel a small sense of comfort that you were so patient with her. I want to be able to cook at least something, she spoke, but these. She paused again after studying her words once again. Before it could before it could become any worse, you took her hands off of her. You began slowly maneuvering around her so that you were in front of her, and you held her hands lovingly. Okay, Ball, I'll help you. You always tried your hardest to help calm her down in the rare moments of weakness that she had, whether it's from soft hugs to loving words or holding her hand. So you did all three at once. You should go. You should go to sleep, she said promptly, feeling your soft hands intertwined with her own. No, let me help you. You looked at her before smiling. Please. Paul looked directly back at you. You could see the small flush residing on her face. You took a few moments more to collect her. She took a few moments more to collect herself before she closed her eyes and sighed. Okay. The smile rose onto your face. It was It was always so heartwarming when she removed her pride like this. She had even begun to do it more frequently now, which was such a relief to you. Ball saw the smile on your face and returned it with one of her own. It only made your smile even hard. It only made you smile even harder. Your wife was so beautiful. After a few seconds of enjoying the moment, you moved your focus to the kitchen counter. There was a single potato there, the peeler right beside it. You didn't need to interpret what she had been doing or trying to do. Oh, you started with potatoes first. You asked her, hands still intertwined. Ball nodded. You could see the embarrassment on her face. You squeezed her hand gently, trying to reassure her, non-verbally, that it was okay. Let me show you first, then I'll help you. You began demonstrating to your wife, letting her peer over your shoulder as you mentioned everything to her. Your words were slow, but not too slow, so she didn't feel like she was being treated condescendingly. Thankfully, though, she simply nodded most of the time. Even a few glimpses of a glimpse that you wait, what? Even a few glimpses of a glimpse that you noticed from the corner of your eye. That looks rather nice, Ball fondly, after minutes of silence, spoke. That looks nice, Ball spoke finally, after minutes of silence. Well, it's your turn now, you said energetically, placing a pillow in your wife's open hands. As her eyes visibly widened, she looked down, an apprehensive expression straining her face. Before she reverted her eyes to look at you, Ball looked almost unsure of herself. I'll guide you along the way. If you're stuck, you said reassuringly. Your words seemed to work, because Ball put on a brave face before walking towards the counter with determination. She rarely got to Before walking towards the counter with determination, she rarely got to see outside of combat. That was weird. He smiled in admiration as you watched on supportively from behind. Bob picked up the potato with one hand and held the peeler in the other hand. She glanced at you fondly and looked at the back and looked at you back just as much. What the heck? Okay, give me a second. Okay. Bob picked up the potato with one hand and held the peeler in the other hand. She glanced at you fondly and you looked back at her just as much. Here, thanks for the welcome back. Here, you say before you put your hands over her own. She watched in anticipation as you moved her fingers and rotated her hand softly so that the blade was parallel with the skin. Ball didn't seem to resist it though, allowing you to help. That's how you should hold it. Ball stared directly at her hands, where you placed your own above hers. She blushed faintly, which made you crimson with how pretty she looked. I'm ready, Ball told you and herself, before she slowly began to peel. You took her hands off and watched. Your wife seemed to be noticing her own success because both her hands began shaking in her own excitement, anticipation. After so long, she could finally make. She, after so long, she finally made something, and it was all thanks to you. A few moments later, and the potato was in a kitchen counter. Was on a kitchen counter. The skin completely removed. The both of you stared at it, lying there in all its glory. You couldn't even contain your own happiness as you stared proudly at what she had done. She had been trying so hard for the last few centuries to do absolutely anything with food, and now she finally did it. You found no better way to show your own joy than wrapping your arm softly around her waist. See, I knew you could do it. Surprisingly, Ball remained silent. Ball, you finally say, after a moment of silence. That was too long. Paul, what's wrong? Are you okay? You carefully turned Paul around with your hands, only to see that there were hot tears flowing down in her face. You would have assumed the worst if it wasn't the happiest smile you had ever you'd seen in a while on her gorgeous face. I, I, I did it, she said, stuttering on every word as her own choked sobs cut her words. Look, the potato, it's... Honestly, you still hadn't fully processed how much she was crying, but the sight of it made me smile so happily. The mask that she always wore on her face broke more of every day, to a point where she could now openly shed tears in front of you. I did it. I've been trying for thousands of years, and Ball looked so perfect right then. The most beautiful smile on her face. You couldn't control yourself anymore. Without hesitating, you placed your hands around around her cheeks, wiping the tears that wouldn't stop running down them, and silenced her as you stared directly in those deep purple, infatuated eyes. Yes, you did it all. You did all of it yourself. Darling, Ball blushed madly before it looked like... Okay, Ball blushed madly before it looked like even she couldn't hold it any longer. Before you had even processed her crying, your wife lunged immediately at you. You didn't even get time to gasp in shock before you felt Paul's lips crash into your own. Your eyes widened as you watched her proclaim her love to you. Wow. The I love you so much. She was crying and laughing, breathing heavily as you met her lips for a second time. Euphoric feeling ran down your body as you deepened into it. Much to your wife's liking, you could feel her arms wrapping around your head, which only pushed you closer to her lips. Sadly, though, one of you didn't have the breath control of an Archon. Ball was so steamy, was all you could say in your dazed state. Thank you so much, was all Ball was saying. You found yourself embarrassed and embracing our Archon lovingly as you tried to calm her down. You had never seen her like this in your life, but you were also so glad it happened. Oh, Ball, I love you too. And you really did. Oh, it's a time skip. Wonder how long this is. I was deceived. Oh, I didn't find it too crazy. Maybe because it was neutral. It can't be too long. He'd be dead. Okay. Cool. That's interesting. Actually, she peeled the potato after. I'll leave my thoughts for after. Time skip. A few minutes later, and Ball had returned, a wild smile on her face. They had been sitting on a dinner table for a while, with Kujo Sara opposite to you. She had wondered over why Ball looked so awfully happy when she invited her over. He promised to keep it a surprise though, so he kept her lips shut. Ball had finished. Ball held the dish in her hands, and Sarah visually grimaced as she glanced out from the side to side, possibly looking for a way out. Okay. Look, Sarah, Ball sounded so uncontrollably happy right then. that even Sarah paused her search to look incredulously at her. Look at what I made. Sarah gulped nervously, looking down to see the roasted potatoes on her plate. That actually looks normal, Sarah said, a surprise obvious from her time. What? Weird. That actually looks normal, Sarah said, the surprise obvious from her time. Maybe, oh, it's from her tone. Okay, there's a bit. Some slight errors. That's okay. But yeah, that actually looks normal, Sarah said, the surprise obvious from her tone. Right? I think I'm going to make this every day for all the conference meetings. Bob was still smiling, which seemed to be contagious as you began smiling too. Sarah was still bewildered at the perfectly normal dish. How? Sarah whispered. As you watched Sarah's surprise and your wife's happiness, you realized how lucky you were to be in such a loving relationship. You truly did love Ball for eternity and beyond. The power of love. For thousands of years, she'd been trying to cut a potato, but could not. It's probably a curse. Guess it only took some outside interference from someone you love, maybe? Hey, it ain't easy. Really? She learned to be gentle. Yeah, maybe she was going too hard on it before. Is it over? No, it's a chapter 2. I wonder what happens in this. You know what? I'm a bit invested. What more could she learn? She's a pro already. Yeah, but potatoes are only the start. I wonder if they had to, or us, if we had to interfere for her to learn something new. Because it's us in this story. I'll read one more. This chapter 2 looks like chapter 1. Why? So lost. Paul is just too clingy, and won't let you leave the bed. And she asks and it escalates. I guess I'll skip this, huh? Alright, what's the next chapter like? The last chapter? Oh, the character. They're switching the characters up. All they do is hug, right? Yeah, that's all they do. So instead of ball, it's a her human self or regular God self. The story repeats. Wait, no. It's like the same start to the story. Like it was early in the morning for you. As you gently felt yourself waking up, it's always easy to sleep all the way. It's always sleep away all your time, and in Azuma will remain so peaceful through the night into wait, it is different. Hmm. Okay, let's go with that. But there's blushing faces and devils, and there's four of them, and four. Please stop. Don't hurt them. Sure. Please stop. Don't hurt them. You wake immediately from those cries. While they have been troubling your sleep for the past few minutes, you dismiss them as part of your dream. And Azuma was awfully awful. So what? You wake up immediately to those cries while they have been troubling your sleep for the past few minutes. And dismiss it as part of your dream. And Azuma was awful, so blissfully quiet. Am I reading that wrong? And Azuma was awful, so blissfully. Whatever. You never expect to be hearing something so horrible in the middle of the night. So waking up in a complete darkness, only to hear those screams lingering, only made chills run down your spine. You turn your body around immediately, seeking your wife for a comfort and reassurance. Moments like these do happen, and it's usually I or Kujo-Sar who will bring themselves outside to sort out the matter. Your eyes begin focusing as slowly made out the silhouette of your wife. That's when you see this scene that you'd never imagined happening in your lifetime. Whoa, the bed shook violently with every twist and turn I made. A gasp inadvertently escaped your mouth. I just soon realized that it was A who was eliciting those screams all along. Many thoughts entered your mind as once you looked in horror, it was evidently clear that she was fighting some wicked amalgamation of a nightmare, but one that was completely overpowering her, and one that was completely shattering her equanimity. Your wife has always been strong and fearless. You couldn't recall a time where she hadn't fought a battle, fought a sense of dignity and fearlessness. So to see her flail her arms so helplessly with a look of unadulterated fear and grief stricken on her face filled you with a nauseating dread. Stop. They're begging you, please. I's voice broke with every despairing cry. With every hitch in her troubled breaths came a feeble whimper. As she was on the edge of completely breaking down, she was afraid, and that reality terrified you. You messily pushed the duvets away from the both of you and your wife, and quickly sat beside her. You've never seen I have a nightmare before, and you had absolutely no idea how to approach her. But your heart could no longer bear hearing those cries. You couldn't bear to see her suffer in her mental pain. Felt thinking you brought both your hands to her front. Her heart was pounding so loudly and rapidly, it reminded you of a thunderous lightning that constantly struck in Sarai Island. Okay. Constantly struck in Sarai Island. Only that her heartbeat came from a deep-rooted fear. Please, she whispered, so feebly, you quickly noticed the tears forming in the corner of her eyes. She was crying. You began to rub circles in her stomach, stroking her thumbs on her pale skin. Eternally, you prayed that she wouldn't cry out of fear or accidentally spark her elemental powers. But more than anything else, you wished you wished to not you wished to not her. Okay, it's backwards. You wished to not hear her desperate cries any longer. It broke your heart to hear her sound so helpless. It seemed to work. Slowly those cries softened into a light murmuring, and her breath slowed considerably. The thump of her heart were light, albeit strong, and her face seemed visibly calm. You looked, and she looked like she was okay. You finally say, softly nudging her sides with your hands. You hope to wake her up slowly and not make her scared once again. I'm here. With caution, you bring your hand down to intertwine with hers. She grips it tightly, and it hurts. You refuse to retract your hands from her side. Strange. Greetings. Listen to my voice, eh? You shut your eyes, both in pain and in the moment of shared connection. Wake up, love. Let's see. That's pretty crazy. Hmm, where was I? Oh, it says, wake up, love. Her eyes finally opened, bright purple at first, before softening into a neutral violet that they always were. She instantly looked directly at you. It must have felt so embarrassingly weak for her right then. As she looked over, wait, what? As you looked over her as a parent would do. I see. While she was looking everywhere. Yeah, something's off here. She instantly looked directly at you. It must have felt so embarrassingly weak for her right then, as you looked over her as a parent would do. It didn't seem to faze her though, as she quickly leapt in your direction. Suddenly you felt two strong arms wrapped around your side. You looked down in surprise. Strong arms, yeah. I was still lying in bed, but she had her face buried in your chest, as if her life depended on it. At first, she didn't know what to do, but she slowly found herself rubbing your wife's hair as you shared a deep embrace together. After a moment's silence, you could hear her eyes sniffles. It seemed like the memories of her nightmare were reforming back. Quickly, you bring your arms to hug your wife a bit harder. You let her softly cry on your body. I was fighting that serpent, she whispers, faltering up her words. It seemed like she didn't care about how much of a crying mess she looked like, because she only pressed on further. I was weak and slow. Sarah, yeah, were, and the monster lunged towards me. But you sacrificed yourself for me, she finally says, looking up at you. I, shook her head gently. If I had to sacrifice myself to save you, then I would do it for 100 lifetimes. You say with conviction. You felt I freeze up momentarily before you felt their breath breathe deeply on your skin. I know, she whispers back and hugs you a bit tighter. Bit tighter. I didn't want to lose you either, but nothing will ever hurt us. Everything is okay now. Everything is okay, she says it herself, albeit slower and more exhaustingly. You look down and see that her eyes are drooping ever so slightly. I says dropping. Hmm. Hmm. You place her. You place her nearly on the bed. Strange words. Is this the same person? Maybe. But yeah, it's okay. Mm-hmm. You place her close to you on the bed, wrapping the covers around her before leaning over, giving her a peck on her forehead. The L bomb she breathes out before sleeping, before finally letting sleep overwhelm her. You stare at her, smile before pushing a lock of hair that covered the gorgeous smile on her wife's face. I L you too, for all of eternity. Awesome. Say it. Next life. Or maybe in hundreds of lives. It'll finally come out. Even if it's in the fic. Depends on how immersed I am in it. That took a turn. It went from cooking, peeling potatoes to a nightmare and screaming. Didn't expect that. I think it's more of a extra chapter. That's life. True. So real. Alright. That was like the last one. What do I think of fan fictions? That was pretty crazy. I didn't know where to start with them. They're good, right? I could see the appeal. No, I understand. It's cool that there's a place to put your alternate universe writings. I didn't know AU stood for that. You were in deep. It's understandable. Hmm. It's interesting. No, they don't seem like they have to be too in depth. Like those weren't too crazy of stories, but those were just basic ones, really. So I could read them here. So that might be a factor. Anyone can post. Anyone can cook. So all kinds of quality. That makes sense. They're not that bad. Like that was a cute story where you're married to the shogun. So we're not so good. I could see how reading that would make you feel very warm, maybe comfortable. But I don't think I've been scratched close to 0.000 to 1,000% of what AO3 is. Gotta read on your own. Mm. It was cool to finally open up the website. The tags are a bit overwhelming at first. It's just like a wall of them in that box. What do those symbols even mean? Kind of got the general understanding, but some of them were still odd. Hunting your tags. Amazing. I don't know. It's a it's a mystery. If I would try to look into this again, because I had to get a topic the next time. I think that would be better. I was kind of just searching and seeing what was around. They wrote. Wow, what a good friend. But yes, it's been fun. Thanks for being here. 9T and L1. Thanks for restreaming and sticking around. You're awesome. Yeah, this is an end.